Hey y'all, welcome to A Dash of Gratitude. My name is Beth, and today I'm sharing 3 slow cooker recipes with you. I will have all the recipes in the description box below, so be sure to check that out if you want any more details. This first recipe I'm calling chicken, stuffing, and vegetables. It's something I just kind of came up with because I was in the mood for chicken and stuffing, and so anyway, this sounded really good to me. Today I am working with 2 packages of chicken thighs from Costco. You could easily do this with chicken breasts as well. So to get started, we're going to prepare this soup mixture. You're going to use 1 can of cream of chicken soup, about a 3/4 cups of sour cream, and then to that I think I added like a 1/3 of a cup of water and just mixed all that together. I added salt and pepper. In the bottom of my crock pot, I've already put the chicken thighs. Again, you can also use chicken breasts. And I'm also adding some baby carrots. I ended up using this whole bag of baby carrots. And I chopped 1 onion. And then I'm also going to add this little bag of chopped broccoli. It's the only broccoli I could find at the grocery store. I didn't intend to have them be so small, but it actually ended up being very nice because it just kind of mixed in with the soup and it just kind of became, I don't know, it was just a perfect little addition. Instead of having big chunks of broccoli, it was just little. So you're just going to kind of mix all that together, top it with the soup mixture, and then on top of that we're going to put the stuffing. And I was a little bit concerned that the stuffing would be too dry, or I wasn't sure how the consistency would be, but it ended up just cooking nice and soft, but it was so flavorful. You're going to put the lid on, and I think I cooked it on low for about 5 hours. I just kind of watched it, and when I knew that it was cooked all the way through, we were really hungry by then, so we served it up. It was absolutely delicious. Even Serena, who is not a fan of broccoli at all, devoured this dish. Olivia really loved it. Robbie ate every bite. It was really good. Here is an overview of the ingredients we're going to be using today for our potato soup. This is my mom's newest recipe she shared with me, and it's slightly different than my own. And actually, I will type out her recipe in the description box below, and I'm still going to make it slightly different. I'm adding a sweet potato because I have some extras to use and I don't want them to go to waste. So mine will be a little bit different, but anyway, this is going to be an excellent crock pot potato soup, and I cannot wait to share it with you. All right, to get started, I already added our butter into the crock pot. Next, I'm going to go ahead and add chicken broth. The recipe calls for 1 quart plus 1 15-ounce can. So here's the quart. Okay. Here's the can. You could use your own home canned chicken broth if you wanted to. I don't have any of that on hand. So we're going with the store-bought. All right. And next we're going to add our garlic powder And the recipe calls for 1/2 teaspoon. So we're going to do that. Okay. It also says salt and pepper to taste, so I'm just going to do a little sprinkle. Actually, I like my potato soup to have a good amount of pepper. So that looks good. A little bit of salt. You got to have salt. Okay. So now we're going to prep our vegetables. So we're going to start by chopping our onion. This is 1 yellow onion, and then I'm also going to use 1 Vidalia onion that I had chopped from yesterday. Something else I'm going to do a little bit different from the recipe is I'm going to wait to add the ham until later because I would like to blend the potatoes, onions, and carrots, and celery with my emulsion blender, and then I'll add the ham after that. So I'm going to wait until all the vegetables are nice and soft so I can do that and then add the ham. Take my onion peels and put them in this freezer bag. I like to keep these in the freezer so that when I do make my own broth, I add that in there and it helps to give flavor. Next, we're going to add some carrots. The recipe calls for 3 medium carrots grated. Oh, well, I am just going to chop mine because I'm going to blend them anyway. Oh my gosh, look at this carrot, guys. What the heck? And I'm just going to add what I think might be the equivalent of 3 medium carrots. I'm not really too concerned. They're going to get nice and soft. So, you know, they don't have to be the same. They don't have to be chopped at the same size. Actually, I might not do quite 3 medium because I am going to add the sweet potato too. So maybe I'll just do that much. All right. Next, we're going to add 1 rib of celery chopped. So I'm going to go ahead and rinse this. I can already tell this is going to be so good. All right, again, this is going to cook soft. And I'm going to add this to my vegetable bag. My vegetable scrap bag. All right, next we're going to add our potatoes. So again, the recipe calls for 6 to 8 potatoes, but I'm just going to use these little potatoes and it's going to be just fine. Let me get I'm going to start with a colander full, and we'll see what that looks like. So I'm just chopping up all of the potatoes into bite-sized pieces. I'm going to do the same with the sweet potato, and I don't like to peel my little potatoes. That would take forever, and I don't have that kind of time. I don't mind potato peels being in my soup, but I did take the time to peel the sweet potato. Just a personal preference. You can do whichever you like. Peel or don't, it's up to you. My crock pot ended up being so full of vegetables and potatoes. I really was concerned it was going to overflow, especially in the end when you add the evaporated milk and the ham. I was like, oh no, I don't know if it's going to fit. But it fit just barely. It all fit. And we had so many leftovers, and this soup was really delicious. We've also been having some kind of cloudy, rainy weather, and these crock pot recipes have they've just been hitting the spot, y'all. I cooked this soup on low for about 5.5 or 6 hours, and about 20 minutes before it was done, I did go ahead and blend all of the potatoes together with my emulsion blender. I really love how this just makes the soup so smooth. It wasn't completely smooth. There were a few chunks of potatoes left, which was perfectly fine. And after I got that all done, you'll see that I will add the ham. And I did add I did add the evaporated milk as well, although for some reason I don't have footage of me actually adding it in, but it adds such a nice element, a little extra creaminess, and it just came together so nicely. The ham that I used for this recipe is chopped up ham from a spiral ham we got from Costco. And, we used part of it in another recipe, and I had plenty left over that I actually saved on purpose to use for this recipe. But you could use any kind of ham that you like. And I had sauteed it a little bit in a pan before to get a little bit of color on it, add another level of flavor. All right, now on to prepare the Italian bread. So I picked up this loaf of bread from Aldi. It is their Italian bread loaf. It's a take and bake bread, but it's already baked, but they do have instructions on the package for when you get it home, if you want to warm it up and bake it in your own oven. It just kind of makes it warm and delicious. But anyway, so I'm just going to slice it up. I'm going to coat it in butter and then add some fresh minced garlic. This bread is so simple to put together and it's so good. You're just going to put it under the broiler on high. until it's toasty brown. Now, I did get this recipe from Clara over at the Great Depression Cooking with Clara. It's another YouTube channel. If you haven't been there, you should go check it out. Anyway, I love the way she prepared this bread, and I hadn't done it like this before. I'm so glad I gave it a try because it was simple and so good. I'm using 4 whole cloves of garlic here on this bread, and you could easily use more, you could use less. I'm not afraid of garlic. I cook with it often. If you don't have whole fresh garlic, you could also use garlic powder or garlic salt. I think this would also be good with some Parmesan cheese on top, or even some shredded mozzarella or something like that. That would be super delicious, but I was keeping it simple today, and this, like I said already, it turned out really delicious. This last slow cooker recipe I'm sharing with you today is one of my most favorite, most delicious, simplest, it's so easy, slow cooker recipe. And I just made it up. It doesn't have a name, but I guess we could call it spinach artichoke chicken because it's so good. You could also do this easily in the oven, but I always do it in the crock pot. So you're just going to put as much chicken as you want into the bottom of your crock pot. Sometimes I add onion, sometimes I don't. And then you're going to use this spinach and artichoke dip. I find it at Costco, and I will link it below so you can check it out for yourself. But it's by La Terra Fina. It's so good. Anyway, I think I put about half of the container straight on top of the chicken, and that's it. You simply pop a lid on and you cook high for 3 to 4 hours or low for 5 to 6. And there you have it. Now, sometimes we will leave the chicken whole at the end, and then sometimes we will shred it. And it's really good to serve over pasta of any kind. You could also serve it over rice, or you don't have to serve it over anything. It's good as it is. So anyway, this particular meal, I was throwing it together quickly so that Brandon and I could run out the door. We were heading out of town just for an overnight. He had a training event to go to, and he was taking me along. And so my mom was coming to stay with the kids. So she and Serena finished up the meal and put it together, and I got footage of that. They were so kind to make sure they got footage of the final preparations for the meal. There's my mom shredding up the chicken after it was all done cooking. Anyway, this recipe is so simple. They decided to go ahead and serve it over spaghetti noodles. They also put together some Pillsbury crescents and served it with a side of corn. Now, if you care to see a little bit of footage from when Brandon and I were on the road and out of town, please feel free to stick around, check it out.
Ready.
And also, I would like to ask if you would check to see if you are subscribed to our channel. And if you're not, it would really mean a lot to us if you'd go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It really helps our channel out, and we love having you here. Ta-da. Here we are driving through Atlanta on the way to Carrollton, Georgia, which is where Brandon's training was, and I also got a little bit of Six Flags as we drove by. Like I said, this was just an overnight venture, and it was officially for a work trip, but it was so nice to get away, just the two of us. We got to share a couple of meals together and just spend some time together. And while Brandon was at training, I got to spend time in downtown Carrollton. It's a small little town, but they have a lot of cute little stores and a really great bookstore, a couple of them actually. And, it's just nice to kind of be a grown-up with no parenting responsibilities for a short time. It also was super nice to come home and all of our laundry was done. That's a bonus for if my mom comes to stay with the kids. That's like having a whole nother vacation on its own, At the end of this video, you'll see Brandon pointing out some pipes in a hallway at a restaurant, and he was explaining some of the things that he learned over his training. And y'all, he was just so cute the way that he explained everything, and I just asked him if I could please video him and include that in this video because he is just so cute and I love him so much. Anyway, I hope you enjoy checking out the footage that I captured over this little trip, and thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you being here.